So here we go then, it's the penultimate round of the championship. We are technically still within a chance of winning the championship, although it's going to be quite a stretch. We did have a problem in qualifying though, we got a bit unlucky with the red flag and we didn't get our hot lap in prior to that. So we're starting down in P18, it's quite an opening lap. Let's see how this goes. So lights are on. Happy with a little bit more wheel spin than I would have liked, but I've done one, it's a slow start in front and I've done another one, so I'm happy with how I've got off the line there. You can see somebody in my mirror and I'm kind of hoping everyone's going to pinch at the apex, so I'll try and just ease off the brakes and go around the outside. All hell breaks loose in front. I sort of aim for where they are in the hope they'll spin out, but they could have gone either way there. I get absolutely peppered with gravel, which you can't really see in the video, but the left hand side of the windscreen now is just covered in cracks and stone chips, and you can see the slightly off-putting wiper blade arm that's taken a hit as well. Car in front's not a guest car. I'm just trying to tuck in behind that. I don't know how much power he's running because he's not in our normal class. You can see it's all going on ahead though. Same car that was involved in an incident at T1's looking pretty aggressive, so I'm just sort of keeping an eye on that. Never seen someone go for a move on the grass there, and it ends in tears. I can probably hear me shouting to Scott. I'm just letting him know that there's been quite a big incident. I'm sort of expecting a safety car, to be honest. I never really comment on other people's driving, but yeah, it seems like an interesting place to go for a move there. You can see flying off on the way into the chicane, I had a bit of bodywork stuck on the front of the car, which only came loose when I braked for the chicane and folded in my left-hand wing mirror. Hence why I've now tipped that down to make sure I can definitely see what's going on behind. So I am expecting a safety car, and I'm on the radio now to Scott and the team asking them to check the front of the car when I come down the pit straight, because I've had all that gravel and I've also hit some bodywork trying to avoid the accident, so I don't know what state the front of the car's in. It seems to be okay, top speed down that back straight, but you never really know. So moving towards the pit wall just to give them a chance to have a good look at the cars that come down. But I'm happy with the first lap. I've made some decent places. Scott tells me the front of the car is looking okay. I turned in way too early there, but hey. You can see the tractor and the stuck car in the gravel at turn 1. Green light's flashing at me now, so I just need to get my head down and try and close that gap. I can see I've got a decent gap behind in the mirror, but let's get after that Civic in front. Awesome corner in this car, old hairpin. Absolutely fantastic. Try and keep left here, open this one up, gives me a good exit. And then this corner, blind apex, is vital to get a good run down the back straight towards the chicane. There's 2 cars I think at least stuck in the gravel there. And I'm probably on the radio to Scott to say I'm surprised there's no safety car. It's good though, it means we can keep racing, but I was surprised. Some very aggressive sausage type curves on the apexes of that chicane. You can't really see in the camera, but they're basically metal blocks, so I'm really conscious not to get that wrong. Lots of people suffering cracked wheels and punctures if you do. See it's starting to bunch up a little bit in front. I can still see the leader, and I think I'm about 3rd in class now, so I've gone from starting something about 6th in class and I'm up to 3rd, so I'm happy with the opening lap. It's just about trying to close in on that pack. I know obviously the car in front's a guest car, so he's not going to take any points off me at the end of the race, and I've no idea what class he sort of aligns to, so he could have a lot more power than me, he could be the same class, so I'm just trying to use him now for a bit of tow really. Yellow flag still at turn 1. be doing the basic things right so far on this lap, and it does seem like we are starting to catch that pack. Just moving the vent there because I'm just getting absolutely covered in gravel and grass and dirt from the cars that have gone off track and left it all on the circuit there. But we're starting to bunch up, which is what I need. I can see Dan Abbott in the blue Integra, who's leading our class, and I can see Charlie Bolton in the red and black Clio. So I know I'm within touching distance. Considering where we started, I'm very happy with that. So directly in front now, another Renault Clio, and it's for second in class. Think about a little move here. Unfortunately there's a back marker kind of blocking the way, so I just dropped back in. Yellow flags are gone now from T1, so I know I've got opportunities there in the future if I need it. Didn't really capitalise there, I think got put a bit off by that back marker and I've lost a bit of time now. Old hairpin just never gets old. Just trying to concentrate on doing the basic things like braking point, turning point, my lines, opening up the corners, just try and get those right so I can start squeezing up on these cars in front. I know I've got the pace to be there because we have caught them because they're battling, so I just need to make the most of it now. Checking the mirror, nothing to be seen really for a long way back, so I'm happy, just eyes forward. Melbourne hairpin's a long hairpin in the front wheel drive car, just about making sure I'm really careful with the throttle so I don't just juice a load of understeer and wheel spin on the exit. Same with this one really. I think probably in my mind right now is I've got second in class in front, I need to start closing up, and if there's an opportunity I'll go for it, but equally I want to stay in touch with that pack, you know, not lose sight of the fact that we started 6th. So to be third's really good. I want to keep going forward, but at the same time I don't want to lose time getting involved in some epic battle with Charlie in front. It's a long race and we're still in touch for a decent position here, so just trying to make sure, as I said earlier, I do all the basics right, keep it on the road, and stay in touch with this pack. Just letting Scott know I got a little early oil temp warning on the car on the dashboard there, you can just see the orange, but it's nothing really to worry about, just making him aware in case it continues to climb. It goes on like this for a couple more laps where I'm just slowly starting to close up on Charlie and everyone else in front is just starting to kind of find their natural rhythm in the race a little bit. So what I'll do now is fast forward things on. Here we go, I've wound us on about 3 laps. There were a couple laps where I was really quite close to Charlie. and then a couple of laps where he's just sort of gapped us again a little bit. And I've had a lap prior to this where I've tried to just give the tyres a little bit of a rest, which is why I've fallen back a little bit, because these tyres really do go off if we overheat them. This was the lap where I decided I was going to really try and start to squeeze up. See, I was green on the Delta going into Old Hairpin, and I knew it was this lap and the next, but whether Charlie had an issue there or he missed a gear, it opened up for me to go round the outside on the exit Old Hairpin. And now I just really wanted to focus on continuing to go forward. I'm up into second in class. I know I've got the pace to stay with him. Now I'm in front. I should have the pace to stay there as well. Such a difficult hairpin to kind of get any element of smoothness on. But I'm happy with the gap I've got to Charlie. I'm trying to go forward. I know I'm not going to catch Dan. He was in a class of his own this weekend, so second in class. Fantastic result if I can hold on to it. Especially when we started down in quali. Again, I'm going to fast forward things on now to my last few laps of my stint, and then we'll pick up again around the driver swap. Here we go. This is my in lap. I know we're going to be pitting this lap. I've caught up with the guest class car after I think they've made a pit stop, I'm not quite sure. I've passed Dan Abbott, who's just made his stop, so technically now leading the class. I'm a lap up on Dan, but obviously we've not made our pit stop yet. And I just want to have a nice, smooth, fast lap, hand the car over to Jack in the best position I can. You can see things are starting to get a little bit more twitchy now as the tyres are getting quite hot towards the end of my stint. At least they have an opportunity to have a little cool down in the pit stop. But I know it's my last lap of Donington Grand Prix track, so really just want to enjoy it. That chicane right all weekend, if I'm honest. Quick enough, but there's definitely time to be found there. Here we go. I know I'm coming into the pit, so it's quite a tight exit out of the last corner to get into the pit lane. And I'm very happy. I started 18th, I'm now something like 5th overall, and I started 6th in class, and I'm now actually bringing it in first, but really 2nd in class, so very happy with my stint. Looking for Jack. We'll hand over, and then we'll go from there. So here we go. Jack's out of the pits for his stint, and he's got a difficult task. It's always tricky going second, especially if you're racing people that aren't swapping drivers, because Jack's got to come up to speed, and we didn't test here, so it's a heck of a challenge. And he's got Charlie, who I was having that battle with, right behind him, except Charlie's not got to bring himself up to speed. He's straight out and continuing at the pace we were doing previously. Jack's gone a little bit on the defensive on the way there, which might cost him a little bit towards the next corner. He's certainly got his mirrors full of red Clio, there's no doubt about that. A little bit deep on the way into the chicane as well, and that's given Charlie the opportunity to get alongside into the Melbourne hairpin. In many respects, not the worst thing. We're now third in class, and it gives the second driver somebody to kind of latch onto the back of. Big lock up into the last corner though, won't help his exit. And now it's just about Jack trying to go smooth and bring the car home. We've got a decent gap to fourth in class, and we've got Charlie in front, so it's just about bringing it home for the remainder of the stint, seeing if we can finish on the podium. So we've got about 15 minutes or so left of the race, and to be honest, what happens now is pretty much this for the remainder. Jack gets his eye in, stays nice and consistent, keeps the gap to fourth in class, and keeps the kind of gap that we've got in front of Charlie in second in class. So this is where things end up. So what I'll do is just wind us on to the last lap, and then we'll see how things shake out. Here we go. Half a lap of the race left. As you can see, Jack's found a bit of a rhythm and found a nice gap. Nothing to worry about in front, nothing to worry about behind. And we're going to bring the car home with a solid result, especially considering our lack of testing, our lack of track time at Donington full stop really, and the fact we got a bit unlucky with the red flag in qualifying and started further down than we expected. Here he goes across the line, and if you look hard at the pit wall, you'll see a very excited me, Scott and Ben waving at Jack as he comes across the line. Another podium, very happy, P3 in class. I think it was something like P6 overall. Decent points. Congratulations to Dan, who's done a fantastic job and held on to the championship. It's all to play for second in the championship though. I think there's about 3 or 4 points in it with 1 round to go. Hopefully you enjoyed that. If you did, hit the like button. Other than that, thanks very much for watching.